Amelia's investigative journey into the heart of Blackthorn Manor unfolded like a dark and foreboding tapestry, each step resonating with the disquieting whispers of the past. The mansion, with its looming presence, seemed to stand as a silent sentinel, guarding secrets buried in the recesses of its dilapidated halls. The night, shrouded in an impenetrable darkness, cast an eerie pallor over the mansion's facade as Amelia approached. The wrought iron gates groaned in protest as she pushed them open, revealing a long-forgotten path leading to the imposing entrance. The crunch of gravel beneath her shoes echoed through the stillness, a stark contrast to the unsettling quiet that enveloped the mansion. As Amelia stepped across the threshold, a rush of cold air greeted her, sending a shiver down her spine. The foyer, once a vestibule of grandeur, now lay in ruins. The remnants of a once opulent chandelier dangled precariously overhead, casting fragmented shadows on the cracked marble floor. The very air seemed to carry the weight of forgotten memories, and the walls whispered tales of the lives that had once thrived within. Undeterred by the palpable sense of unease, Amelia flicked on her flashlight, its feeble beam cutting through the oppressive darkness. The first room she entered was a forgotten library, its shelves laden with books coated in layers of dust. It was a place that time had forgotten, a sanctuary of knowledge abandoned to the relentless march of decay. In her pursuit of the paranormal, Amelia pressed on, guided by an inexplicable force drawing her deeper into the mansion's recesses. The air grew colder with each step, and the faint rustle of unseen movement accompanied her journey. She couldn't shake the feeling that spectral eyes watched her every move, their gaze penetrating the veil between the living and the dead. The exploration led her to the grand ballroom, a cavernous space now cloaked in impenetrable darkness. The moon's feeble attempts to pierce the heavy clouds outside did little to illuminate the vast expanse. In the center of the room stood a long-forgotten piano, its keys untouched by human hands for decades. A sudden haunting melody filled the air, the piano playing itself with an ethereal grace. The room pulsed with a spectral energy, and the temperature dropped precipitously. Amelia's breath materialized in wisps as she witnessed the inexplicable, the notes weaving a tale of melancholy that resonated with the very essence of the mansion. The atmosphere thickened as the whispers intensified, becoming a symphony of voices that transcended the boundaries of time. Amelia stumbled backward, her senses overwhelmed by the spectral chorus. In the dim light, a shadowy figure materialized before her, its eyes pools of sorrow that seemed to draw her into the depths of an ancient lament. A ghostly hand grazed her shoulder, and a cold wind whispered fragments of a tragic narrative. The mansion seemed to come alive with the voices of the departed, their stories interwoven with the creaking timbers and moaning walls. It was as if Blackthorn Manor itself sought release, a purging of the anguish that clung to its very soul. Desperation seized Amelia as she fled through the labyrinthine corridors, the whispers growing louder and more insistent. The walls seemed to close in, their peeling wallpaper pulsating with an otherworldly energy. The mansion, once a stoic witness to the passage of time, now convulsed with the weight of its spectral inhabitants. In her attempt to escape, Amelia found herself once more in the foyer, the ghostly figure blocking her path. The whispers crescendoed into a deafening cacophony, and the very foundations of the mansion shook with an unseen force. With a final act of desperation, Amelia closed her eyes and uttered a prayer, a plea for deliverance from the unearthly grip that bound her. In an instant, the mansion fell silent. Amelia cautiously opened her eyes, greeted by an unsettling stillness. The oppressive energy that had pervaded the mansion had dissipated, leaving only the echoes of a tragic past hanging in the air. The ghostly figure had vanished, its mournful wail replaced by an eerie quiet that lingered like a ghostly imprint. As she stepped outside, the first light of dawn began to break through the heavy clouds that had concealed the night. Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that Blackthorn Manor, with its decaying splendor and spectral whispers, held within its walls the imprints of a tragedy that had transcended the boundaries of the living and the dead. The shadows of the past clung to the mansion, eternally bound to the echoes that reverberated in the stillness of the early morning.